This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
Hello and welcome to the late night news on NDTV Hindu. I'm Ramanathan. The top stories tonight. Madras University MCA exams cancelled again today as a precautionary measure. Students disappointed.
I've reached here at 1 o'clock and I get to this shocking news that my exam got cancelled.
Educationists lash out at the leak. Sanna University ex-VC holds the university officials responsible, calls the leak a disease.
It's a larger disease that is prevailing around the country in almost all the universities.
Two murders rocked Chennai, a school teacher and a carpenter murdered in two separate incidents. It's World Population Day, and while the numbers explode across the country, Tamil Nadu, it seems, is well under control. It's D-Day at the World Cup. The world will watch as new champions are crowned in South Africa. Will it be Spain or Netherlands? And before we move into the news in detail, here are our national headlines. Mehbooba Mufti snubs the Prime Minister, and Omar Abdullah says he will not attend the all-party meet to bring Kashmir under control.
I don't have the words, what it took me, how painful it was for me to, convey my inability to the Prime Minister.
The Army Chief tells NDTV that special situations require special treatment, but the Special Powers Act has been misused at times.
98% or more of these allegations, when investigated, have proved.
Government launches crackdown on radical groups after Kerala lecturer was maimed last week. The lecturer says he's ready to forgive. A day after a convent in Vadodara suspended 6 girls for using abusive language on Facebook, their suspension is revoked. And for the top story of the day, our expose MCA exams at the Madras University cancelled today as well. Well, are more question papers of Madras University's distance education programs up for sale? No one's quite sure, so the university authorities decided not to take chances. A day after NDTV Hindu uncovered a question paper leak, the cancelled exams that were scheduled today. Nithala and Pratiksha report on the dilemma faced by the 152-year-old university.
A double whammy for MCA students of the Madras University this weekend. On Saturday, the Oriented Programming and C++ exam was cancelled after a question paper was leaked and telecast by NDTV Hindu in public interest. University authorities had assured students that other exams would continue as scheduled, but that was not to be. Ripples of the scandal highlighted by NDTV Hindu still being seen. Just 2 hours before today's exams were to begin came this notification from authorities at the centre.
Today 2 exams, microprocessor and data structures, were scheduled to be held in the afternoon. We got a call from University of Madras at 12:15 stating that the examination has been cancelled. Cancelled examinations, the date of cancelled examinations will be notified after the rest of the examinations are over by this month end.
Varun, who works in Dubai, had come all the way only to be told that the exam had been postponed. Many other students like him were irked that university authorities had not informed them in advance, especially after what happened yesterday.
I've reached here at 1 o'clock and I get to this shocking news that my exam got cancelled. The university should have given prior information about it, but it's a very tough time for us.
நாங்கள் ரொம்ப லாங் டிஸ்டன்ஸ்லேருந்து வரோம். இந்த எக்ஸாம் இங்கே வந்ததுக்கப்புறமா தான் இந்த எக்ஸாம் கேன்சல் ஆன விஷயம் எங்களுக்கு தெரியும். இது முதல்ல எங்களுக்கு இன்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணியிருந்தால் கொஞ்சம் கன்வீனியாக இருந்திருக்கும். இந்த எக்ஸாம் மறுபடியும் எப்போ கண்டக்ட் பண்ணுவாங்கன்றது தெரியல. ப்ராப்பர் இன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ஷன் எங்களுக்கு கிடைக்கல, அதனால கொஞ்சம் கஷ்டமாக இருக்குது.
Academicians, however, say the university has done the right thing by postponing the exams.
If a few papers have leaked, what is the guarantee that the remaining papers would not have leaked? So the leadership has taken the right decision in cancelling the examinations. And they have to take serious steps in order to put a check at every level of the examination system.
The inquiry ordered by the Vice-Chancellor is underway, and it's the reputation of the 152-year-old university at stake. But many wonder whether the paper was leaked to spite university authorities, bringing internal politics at the university to the forefront, or whether it is a larger racket involving not just students but also the staff of the university. In Chennai with Pratiksha, Mithila, NDTV Hindu.
However, Dr. Kalanidhi, former Vice-Chancellor with the Anna University, a renowned academician and educationist, joined us here in the studios later and told us that the head of the institution and his immediate subordinates must be held directly responsible for this mess and that these question paper leaks have become a disease in the system.
Now, ultimately the responsibility lies with the Vice-Chancellor and the officials who are working below him. So they have to take onerous responsibility for the kind of leak that has taken place. Mainly the universities are meant to conduct examinations and evaluate the quality of students, and that they have to take serious note of it and do it, in which case there is no question of private participation or civil society participation. If you say civil society participation, this is how the question paper leaks takes place. So you don't introduce the civil society component into the system. That's not fair. The university will have to take stern measures, use the IT-enabled services and the tools that are available with us and make effective the tools, and then make sure that the checks and measures which we are carrying out are constantly monitored by the top leader. If that is done at all levels, there will be a fear and they will be able to check this and then control this. This is a disease that is prevalent not only in government universities but also in private universities. The private universities, it has not been made public, whereas the government universities, it has made public so easily by the way the question papers are leaked out and so on. The university will have to take stern measures, use the IT-enabled services and the tools that are available with us and make effective the tools, and then make sure that the checks and measures which we are carrying out are constantly monitored by the top leader.
The Union Minister for Human Resource Development, Kapil Sibal, is here in the city and delivering an address. He said that the central government alone cannot take the responsibility for educational development. The civil society has to take an active role in the education system to achieve our goals.
Can the central government do it on its own? Education is not the enterprise of one entity or one stakeholder. It requires a community effort where all stakeholders might participate with equal vigor and passion. These stakeholders are the central government, the state government, the panchayat, the parents, the teachers, the students, civil society, the NGOs. Unless all of us get together and convince ourselves that this is something that the nation direly needs, this national mission will never succeed.
Well, Chennai witnessed two cold-blooded murders in a single day in two separate incidents. The first victim, Manjula, a 46-year-old teacher, and the second one, a carpenter. Our crimes reporter Salim runs us through the investigation process which would help the cops to nab the culprits.
The murder of 46-year-old Manjula has sent shockwaves across Radhakrishnan Nagar in North Chennai. As per the complaint filed by Manjula's husband, he was shocked to see his wife lying dead in a pool of blood with her throat slit. 25 sovereigns of gold chains of Manjula were reportedly missing from the scene of crime. 3 special police teams have been formed to nab the malicious murderer. Her death comes as a surprise not just to the wailing family members but for these little ones who lost their favorite teacher.
இந்த ஆசிரியர் நல்லா பாடம் நடத்தாங்க. இவங்க கவனிக்கிறது நல்லா இருப்பாங்க. ஸ்கூல்ல எதுனா ஒண்ணுனா உடனே அவசரப்படுவாங்க. ஆனா இவங்க பசங்களை அடிக்கவே மாட்டாங்க. நாங்க நைட் 8:30 மணிக்கு தான் எல்லாம் கத்தினாங்க அவங்க வீட்டு ஹஸ்பண்ட். அதான் தெரியும். வேற எதுவும் தெரியாது.
Here's the shocking twist to Manjula's murder. Preliminary investigation reveals that the victim's husband might be behind the murder. Manjula's husband Chandrasekhar entered the house at 6:15 p.m. on Saturday, but says he came to know about the murder only at 7:30 p.m. So what was he doing for almost 1 hour 15 minutes? Secondly, only the jewellery owned by Manjula were missing. All other jewellery and cash remain intact. Thirdly, the victim was found lying naked on the bed when the murder came to light. Cement traces were also visible at the scene of crime. 2 coffee tumblers were recovered from the spot as well, which adds to the speculation that some known person is behind the murder. Fingerprints were lifted from the scene of crime and the police now await the post-mortem report to crack this case. In a separate incident in Thuraipakam, a carpenter's head was smashed with a huge stone by his friend in a drunken brawl, which led to his death. The accused has been arrested. In Chennai, Salim for NDTV Hindu.
Well, today is World Population Day, and while India may be ranked as the world's second most populated country, Tamil Nadu, it seems the numbers have been well within control, all thanks to the family welfare measures implemented since the 80s, which have been successful.
21 childbirths per 1,000 people. That's the magic number the government wants every state in the country to monitor to keep a tab on population explosion. Experts say that states like Tamil Nadu and Kerala have done well to keep the population growth rate well under control.
Birth rate of Tamil Nadu has diminished to about 16 per 1,000, which is only one step lower than Kerala, which is about 14.6 per 1,000 in 2008. The fall is still continuing and probably will touch about 15 per 1,000 in the next 1 or 2 years.
In the last decade, India has graduated from joint families to nuclear families, single parents and career-driven couples, which perhaps has stabilized the growth rate. Doctors say people have become more aware and conscious.
And they are very sensible. Even if they are not sterilized, they are family planning and they know when to have what and when to have a baby and when to control and what to do. And I'm sure the number of abortions also are coming down and they avoid pregnancy. It's definitely heading towards the right direction.
While India battles to keep population growth rate under control, experts say that educating the rural class will do wonders for helping the cause. In Chennai with Evelyn Matthew and Lokpriya, Kuku Alex for NDTV Hindu.
Well, the Health Secretary today announced that the state's decision to approve private vaccination for swine flu will be taken tomorrow. The swine flu vaccine will be available at an approximate price of 300 rupees. He also said that the intranasal vaccine costing around 195 rupees will also be available soon. With the availability of these vaccines, he said that the swine flu threat had reduced, but he also expressed concern over the access of the vaccine to all sections of the public.
We could have a discussion with the companies which have produced this vaccine, their views on whether we can recommend this vaccination to the public. That is why we have organized this program, and they have come out with good discussions, and probably tomorrow we will be able to finalize the recommendations. We will come out with the recommendations to the public.
Well, time to slip under a short break, but watch out when you wash dirty linen online for everyone to see. You might just end up suspended like these kids. More on that after the short break.